Today may be the only day that I'll benefit from having crabs. Up next on PopCon. Welcome back to PopCon, everybody. Salute to all pop culture, but mostly the 80s. I'm your Generation 1 host, Victor. I have 2 new action figures today to reveal and get on the toy shelf behind me. And boy, that Masters of the Universe Origins line is just growing. I didn't expect it would last this long. Did you? Why don't I start by showing you this? It is the debut, the reveal of the Horde Trooper. Now it is... it's in the Masters of the Universe line, which I think it was also in the Masters of the Universe toy line in the 80s, but it did appear on She-Ra Princess of Power's show. This is the evil mechanical enforcer of Hordak. Now, this character is unique. I have got a, what do you call it in movie business? A continuity problem with the Horde Trooper. So I'm going to tell you all about that if you stick around. So we're going to reveal him in just a minute. Here's the crabs I was talking about. It's actually just only one crab. It's Clawful. So Clawful the Warrior with the grip of evil. Yeah, this is one of Skeletor's henchmen, and never had him as a kid either. So it's great that I have these 2 action figures to reveal today. And as you know, as an adult collector, I have an ultimate toy collecting goal. It is to fill that toy shelf behind me with, well, my favorite franchises made famous in the 1980s. And I got to represent, and these 2 are doing it. So let's take a look closer at their packages and let's get it on. Starting with the Horde Trooper, we see that dynamic red boulder card back from the original. This is new for 2022, and you see the byline under their name. The back shows the cross-cell art as well as the action feature by pressing the Horde symbol on the robot's chest. And there you see Thunder Punch He-Man in the art by Axel Jimenez. It says the mindless minions of Hordak use their overwhelming numbers to overpower their enemies. I love that they use that He-Man as he's busting up a lot of troopers and shows their action figure, which is funny because the original Thunder Punch He-Man's card back art looked like this, which is the same thing, busting up the Horde Trooper with its action feature, and you get a little Orko to boot. Now next we look at Clawful's card back. Since they are all on the wave together, they're all similar, but his says make his dreadful claw grab and hold. So it has a little bit more about the action feature, which you see on the left in the card next to the cross cell of how to work the lever. Now look at that artwork, glorious artwork of Teela, Clawful, and Whiplash in the background. Clawful's crushing brutality and cunning intellect makes him one of He-Man's more vicious enemies. Now that's funny because Clawful's original artwork had very similar artwork with Teela, just in that different style of the 80s. Clawful uses his dreadful claw to work his evil will. And you don't see Whiplash in it either. But I do love how these card back arts are hinting at more characters to come, and we do know Whiplash is on his way. So we're going to open these things right now and then, of course, get a real close look and review each character before I put them in the place of honor behind me. But let's see if they're worthy. All right, let's start here. This is the Horde Trooper here. As you know, we've seen the artwork already. You can always look at that. I do peel these open. I am an open box kind of guy. We have, of course, the sticker there for Horde. There's a nice little place for your thumb. Did you guys notice that? It's like this easy place to dig in there. I don't know if it's for him to breathe. Maybe it's a breathing hole like a pet. But either way, it makes it very easy to open that way. And here he is. Oh, seeing if I can smell that new plastic, and he can. You know, this new plastic smell, stronger than even Stinkor's action figure, which really stank. I mean, that sucked because it didn't stink. So here he is in his blister pack. Inside, Sunman. All right. This mini comic is, of course, about Sunman because he's also in this wave with these other 2 guys. I gotta be honest, I think Sunman is pretty cool, and some of the other characters in the line are pretty fascinating. But I had never heard of them, so I won't be collecting. I'm not a completist. I do represent what I know and feels right for my toy line. And so although Sunman looks pretty cool, I'm not going to be collecting him. I will tell you that in the Masterverse collection, he looks awesome. So anyway, here he is, and we are going to pull him out in just a moment. He does have his glowing energy staff as well in the back. So really love that. And he does have a fantastic action feature, which we'll demonstrate, as well as I'll tell you that whole bone I have to pick with them regarding I always forget that word. I want to say inconsistency, but it's not that word. It's the continuity. I've got to say that over and over. All right, but moving on. So we have Clawful here, the crab man. And so we looked here, and he's from the same wave. So he's going to have that same mini comic. So I'm going to stick my finger right up the bottom of that.
Yeah.
And we're going to peel back. Oh, didn't work as good as the first time. There goes the mini comic. Here comes Clawful. There he is. All right. I do love the vibrant blue. It's not really blue, and it's not really purple, but it does reminiscent of that blue-purple that Skeletor has. So here he is with his mace that fits in his claw. He has a little action feature as well. We'll get up close and personal at that in just a moment. Of course, these guys come with how they can interchange their limbs, and you can Frankenstein an action figure today if you so choose. You can make the Horde Claw or the Clawful Trooper, whatever you want to do with these guys. Mix them together, whatever you want. But for me, it's time for Carousel. So this is just an honest review of these Motu Origins action figures. The comparison comes later. Here we have. So this is Clawful, and he looks an awful like he did in the 1980s is in his original. You can see that the armor clamps on both sides and can easily be removable, which is great when you want to Frankenstein a character together. He's got a huge right claw and a small on the left, using alternate parts from Buzz Off, his legs and his arms, and even that claw on the left. All right, well here, I'm gonna put him in a pose that he couldn't have done in the 80s because of all this great articulation in all of these joints and ankles and knees and calves and shins and all of that. Now, I want you to notice the neck and the head. It is funny about this character because it looks like just a man wearing a mask. He has got some flesh tone skin, although it does have its insectoid accents. It still looks like a guy wearing some sort of like mask with a great little bumpy nose. I do like the details there. This is Clawful. All right, let's move on to the Horde Trooper, a very different body buck. So the Horde Trooper is cool. I never had this as a kid. I do like the very detailed logo. You can see the button in the middle, which we'll get to in a minute. The details on the metallic outside of the robot are neat. But if you look at these legs, look at Fisto, and look at the legs of the Horde Trooper. Very different. He stands more straight and up and tall, and he keeps the boot cut style of his pant legs, I guess. And it's pretty amazing. He does have some great articulation. And I am really impressed with this guy, including his staff and that head. Love the head. The eyes are very sinister because they just peek above. The head is unique because it is just on a ball joint, but it's also circular. So he is quite different than the rest of the Masters of the Universe Origins figures. I do like him a lot. I can't say it enough. But let's take a look at this action feature. That button there that should, when struck, break apart. So I've got Fisto here because why not? Fisto's, got that big fist. He's ready to pound him.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, look at the buck, the style of the character, the way it's designed. He's very different. All right, we're going to have him attack. He's going to punch, 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 punch. It's okay there. Finally, we get it. We can see that the button, when pressed, makes the armor fall apart on the Horde Trooper. So I'm going to keep trying this here. That one was very smooth. That opened up really nice and easy. But depending on where the arms are, the back may not fall all the way. It's a simple thing. It's not really a complaint at all. But if you want the full force action, you might want to spread those arms out or in the front so that it does. But it does work really well. And the insides kind of look like lungs or organs. Ew. That's a great story about Sunman. Just finishing up my mini comic for my action figures, and I thought, well, wait a minute, I gotta tell you guys that if you love this, if you love seeing an adult collector bring to life his toy shelf, you love Masters of the Universe Origins as much as I do, or the other toys on my shelf direct from the 80s, then please subscribe. Do me a favor, help me out, please subscribe to my channel, and show me a little love by clicking the like. All right, let's get back to the story. You all know I love to compare. I love to compare old action figures from the 80s and what they look like today when they're reboot or remade. And I love the technology has come so far. Let's look at Clawful, how he looked in the animated show. Completely different. We all know there was a totally different animation model from what the toy that came out. So he came out in the cartoon first, but his toy came out later, and this is what he ultimately looked like in the original. And this is what he looks like today. Pretty amazing how similar they really are. But you can see the articulation difference. As for the Horde Trooper, he is both different and the same. Here he is in his animation in the She-Ra Princess of Power toy line. And we see that he keeps, it's very similar. This is the original G1 action figure. Looks like his eyes are much lower. It's kind of just a little bit muted, not as silver as the one today is, but they really kept that feel in the different shape of his body with those legs, as well as the, I think the eyes are just cooler now. Even the hands, his left hand is a fist. There's no room to put a weapon. He can only hold it in the right. So this is my favorite character. This is my favorite Motu Origins character. Now, I think it's worth pointing out that you can Frankenstein these characters with those limbs, the arms, the heads, the bodies, the feet. So here we go. I have made a little bit of Fisto's head with some Clawful feet and switched over some legs on Clawful himself. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. You can do that with a lot of the characters, but that leads me to my next thought. Okay, well, it's time for me to tell you why I have this kind of issue with the Horde Trooper. Now, I know as an 80s cartoon and made for kids that those Horde Troopers were basically just cannon fodder. And of course, they were robots. We couldn't be killing humans, right? Well, I get it, especially all the time that they blew up in the show. But my point is, when I saw Secret of the Sword, the movie of She-Ra and He-Man, She-Ra's introduction, there's that famous scene, and I think everybody knows where I'm going with this. He-Man sees the Horde Troopers, he looks down, he has a great idea, he then pulls a Horde Trooper aside, and suddenly, seconds later, he's putting on the helmet as if this is a stormtrooper, even to the point where his little orange hair is flipping off the side. I mean, we've seen some people duplicate this look. We've seen them do it in action figure. So it's pretty famous. Everybody knows this. But I'm wondering, how did He-Man get inside that robot? I mean, did he dig out all the innards? Did he, I don't know, did he just rip everything out, put the shell on him like armor? Either way, to me, in Secret of the Sword, those were just a whole bunch of guys. Those were just a whole bunch of men that were conscripted into the army. Anyway, this is my point. This is my problem. It wouldn't work, right? But I like the idea of He-Man hiding inside the Horde Trooper. But it is one of those continuity errors, I think, because it just couldn't happen. He-Man couldn't hide inside of a robot. Unless, of course, you're from the black hole and you're Maximilian and you are, Reinhardt at the end of the black hole as he hides in Maximilian. I don't know. It's not that cerebral. Just bringing it up. And I thought I'd show you some great pictures, though, representing, because I think it's still cool. Okay, let's get on with this. Well, here I go. I've got my Horde Trooper, and I have Clawful, and they have to join the rest of the Masters of the Universe Origins collection on the PopCon toy shelf. Now, it's split onto 2 levels now. We're kind of easing on into the mask area, so I might need some kind of rearranging to do. But right now, there's plenty of room, and I think I'll just put the Horde Trooper here. Near Hordak. Now I'm going to rearrange these because he's got to be near, a little bit closer to Hordak. Right now, he's next to Trapjaw. And I'm going to put Clawful up here because he's new, one of the evil warriors, and his red colors are kind of nice. He's going to be next to Merman and Triclops as they attack He-Man up there in the turret of Castle Grayskull. So adding some more, I need some more room. I know I can make it. I can make enough room for all the Motu they're going to make. So don't they look fantastic up there? Of course they do. Well, just like Leon, my collection is getting larger. So, when I first started collecting Masters of the Universe Origins, I noticed some of them had some variations, some differences, whether it was He-Man at Skeletor's face, or really extra special was Trapjaw's additional piece of his arm. But as the collection goes on, all of them seem to be very, 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 very similar to their original counterparts, which I know is the intent, but there were some minor tweaks that I wish they had done to some of these characters, not to fix them per se, but to evolve the design just a teeny bit. And there's not many of them. Would you agree? I'm talking like a Whiplash, who I don't have yet, but I know he's got that tooth thing. So sometimes in the 80s, the detail and the face sculpts and even the whole mold, they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, what we thought they should look like, but we took them, we loved them. And now that we're at a point that we're in the 21st century now, and I know they shouldn't look like Masters of the Universe Classics, which I don't collect, but I thought some of them should have a little bit of a design aesthetic change. But that's me. Maybe you agree, maybe not. Let me know which Masters of the Universe Origins character probably should have had a teeny bit of a tweak. So anyway, this is awesome. I'm going to keep collecting these guys, but I know I'm nearing the end. I know I'm nearing the end of my Thundercat, so please check out my other videos for sure. I really hope you enjoyed this as I really try to get my ultimate collection, cross off my list, and keep going with all of these wonderful toy additions to my toy shelf. So if you're having a great time, once again, press like, comment, and share, and most importantly, subscribe. Thanks for joining me on PopCon. Until next time.